So, hello. I'm Kate Bowditch. I am a hypnotherapist, clinical hypnotherapist, and a mental health counselor. I own Clearwater Counseling and Hypnotherapy. And welcome to this blog, to this video. I wrote two short pieces on the happiness busters, the 15 big happiness busters that we all have them in our bag of tricks that we can pull out anytime we want and really get miserable. And so I wrote about those in previous posts, and today I'm doing this video piece because I've had a lot of people say, well, there's one missing, and the one missing is complaining. And I thought, that may be the biggest one of all. Complaining. Complaining, oh, nothing I ever buy fits, so that's why I wear sweats all the time. Nobody ever takes me anywhere, so there's no point in getting dressed up. I don't really like my work. It's too much work. Everything's too hard. That's complaining. There's a big difference between complaining and a problem, discussing a problem. Complaining does not have a solution in sight. So when you complain, you really almost don't want a solution. In fact, there's nothing worse than the person who says, well, why don't you just buy something that's really good looking and almost fits and take it to a tailor? We don't want to hear that. We want to hear, oh, you poor thing. Oh, that's so sad. I totally agree. And down you go into the pot. And there is a good reason for that expression, that misery loves company. So the worst thing in the world you can do is offer a solution to somebody who's complaining, or, somebody says, oh, have you heard about so-and-so? She is just really weird. And if you say, I haven't, I've gotten to know her, she's really an interesting person. You don't get very far in the conversation after that. But if you go, ooh, tell me more. Oh, you're in for the whole 9 yards of how dreadful that person is. Now, that can be useful. All of that can be useful. And I must say, it can be useful. It keeps us in the comfort of our discomfort. If we've been in that discomfort place long enough, that's what we know. We know the parameters, we know how to behave in it, we know exactly what it will do and not do. And we are comfortable in the discomfort. Nothing changes till something moves. So complaining also really does divert our attention from the real issue of our unhappiness. I can go around for days, oh, nothing fits, I don't feel good, clothing, blah, 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 body, blah, blah, blah. What I'm really not saying is I'm not happy in the body that I've created, and I'm not willing to make the changes required to change my creation into something that fits me better. I'm complaining about my body's fit, not my clothing. And by complaining about the clothing, I externalize the blame. It's all on the fault of the clothing makers. And blaming does shift our discomfort onto something or someone else and keep us from having to look at what we're really not looking at. So the downside, of course, to complaining is that it does breed and increase your unhappiness. Yes, there's a certain fear that if I allow myself to be happy, I might lose it. I might start to go down that path, and then someone will take it away. Well, you can go down the path of misery, and gosh, something wonderful comes along and just takes that misery right away. So that's not, it's worth the gamble to pursue the happiness. To pursue the happiness. It takes new skills. We all know the rules about misery. We know exactly how to behave. Yes, being happy requires maintenance. It requires a mindset shift. You don't have a lot of practice at it, maybe, um, but you weren't born knowing how to talk, and you learned that. And that's the most complicated thing in the world to learn. So learning how to be happy is actually pretty easy. Um, is there fear? Well, that's reasonable. Fear of losing that happiness. But we all get in our cars and drive on the freeways. Uh, we get in airplanes. We um, go shopping for food in places and bring it home and cook it and eat it. We don't know really where it came from. So the fear factor um, doesn't hold a lot of weight. Doesn't It's okay. We all have fears, and they are all down at a lower level so that we can function. And it's okay to put the fears of your change to one side and say, maybe I'll try this entire week without one day of complaining. Maybe it just starts with a day, but spend a week not complaining. And if you see a problem, bring the solution with you and then solve it, fix it, repaint it, sew it up, get it to the tailors, mow the grass. If you don't like raking, rake a pretty pattern of leaves on your grass instead of the whole thing. Whatever it is you find yourself habitually complaining about, sit with it. A, what is the solution and what is the possibility of that solution? Or B, what is it covering? What is it really that the complaint is keeping you from seeing? So, on that, let us spend a week without complaint and allow the happiness in. I'm Kate, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye-bye.